Hey guys, Sue's here. Welcome back to another What's for Dinner on Keto, easy keto meal prep and keto recipe ideas to get you through those keto weeknight meals. If you're new here, please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and join the crew. We do these What's for Dinner on Keto videos every single Sunday and always try to cover 4 new recipes. I wanna catch the wave. So first up this week, we made easy Malibu chicken. This is based on a recipe from Low Carb Maven. I'll link it down below. So I took a half a cup of keto mayonnaise. Now this is Sir Kensington avocado oil based mayonnaise, so it is a little watery, but this about a fourth of a cup Dijon mustard I added to it to thicken it up a little, and then I also added a tablespoon of Swerve confectioner and mixed that all together. This makes it taste kind of like a honey mustard. I'm going to set that sauce to the side. I grabbed 4 chicken breasts. This is like 2 extra large ones that are just cut in half. And then I'm going to take probably about a fourth a cup of that honey mustard mix, fake honey mustard, and put it over the chicken. And then I'm just going to use my hands to flip the chicken over until it's all fully coated. And do make sure to wash your hands really well in between touching raw chicken, of course. And I took about 3/4 a cup crushed pork rinds and 3/4 a cup grated Parmesan cheese, along with 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, a teaspoon onion powder, a 1/4 a teaspoon salt, and an 1/8 a teaspoon pepper. Mixing that all together really well. Took a 8x8 baking dish, and I did go ahead and spray it down with some nonstick spray, and I'm going to take half of that pork rind crumb mixture and just put it in the bottom of the dish. I do have my oven preheated to 350 degrees. Now I'm going to sit my chicken on top of that, and then I'm going to take the other half of the pork rind crumbs and just cover it. Of course, I did add salt and pepper first, as always. After I have the chicken fully coated on the other side, I just popped it into the oven for about 45 minutes because I like to make sure my chicken is all the way done. After it came out, I did top each piece of chicken with a couple slices of just deli ham sandwich meat out of the fridge and a slice of Swiss cheese. Make sure you check those carbs extra on your ham. And I popped it back in the oven for 5 to 10 minutes till it was melted. Here it is all plated up. I just did some long green beans on the side and put a little butter and salt and pepper on those to season. And there you go, guys. Next up, I like to do one really high calorie fat kid meal every week. So this week it was these Keto Hot Pockets. So these are based on a recipe by Kendra Holly from Peace, Love, and Low Carb. I'll link her down below. So to start with, I took about 5 tablespoons, or 5 ounces really, of cream cheese and 3 cups of mozzarella in a microwave dish. Microwaved it a minute, mixed it. Then I microwaved it another minute, mixed it. And then to that I added 2 cups of almond flour, a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon onion powder, a teaspoon Italian seasoning, a teaspoon sea salt, and a half a teaspoon black pepper, along with 2 large eggs. And I just mixed that all together with this spoon before getting my hands in there and really kneading the dough mixture together. After I have it all kneaded and combined all the way through, I did get a cookie sheet and I just lined it with some parchment paper just as a place to rest these, and I coated my hands really well in oil, and I'm going to separate this dough into 8 dough balls, and I just divided it evenly to make these little balls of dough. These are going to be our Hot Pockets. So then I took a separate little piece of parchment paper, put 1 piece of dough on it, kind of mashed it into a disc shape, and rolled it to about 1/4 inch thickness, just to a circle. I did do these one at a time, which takes a little bit longer, but I just didn't have the counter space that I wanted to clear off to roll out all of these at once. So I just made them one at a time. So I took a half a cup of pizza sauce. I always pre-make a homemade batch of this and freeze it, but you could use whatever low-carb sauce you like. Took about a tablespoon of it to the dough round, 6 slices of pepperoni, and then some shredded white cheddar. I did just shred 2 cups of white cheddar cheese, and again, the white cheddar cheese and the pizza sauce I'm splitting those up evenly among all of the 8 Hot Pockets. Once I have that all topped, I did have a large egg whisked up to the side, and I'm just going to brush the edges of this dough round with the egg wash, and then I'm going to fold the whole thing over and pinch the sides of it. You're just going to pinch and roll the sides together until you have them all sealed up, and you're going to repeat this process over and over again until you have all 8 of these done. I then just sat all of them on a new cookie sheet lined with parchment. Now I crammed all of mine onto a smaller cookie sheet. It would probably be better to use a bigger one. And I do have my oven preheated at 425. And then I just took the remaining egg and brushed it over the top of all of these, and it's going to give it that golden brown color. And then I'm going to pop the whole thing in the oven for 20 minutes. Now you could also take some pizza sauce on the side to dip these in after they're done, but I wanted to keep them more low carb, so I did not. And here they are finished, and here they are all plated up. Now these keto pepperoni pizza Hot Pockets would be really good also to freeze for keto meal prep and just reheat in the microwave, and would make an awesome keto lunch. Next up, made this awesome keto cauliflower dirty rice. Oh my gosh, this was so good. Again, I love anything with andouille sausage in it. So to start with, over medium-high heat, took some avocado oil, heated it, and then started sauteing about half of a red onion. It is minced up pretty fine. To that, I added 2 heaping teaspoons of minced garlic, cooked it until it was fragrant, and then I added 2 stalks of celery that were diced really fine, and 1 green bell pepper that was also diced fine. And I just continued to cook these until they all softened up. To that, I just did 1 package of andouille sausage. It is pre-cooked, so you don't have to worry about getting it cooked all the way through. Now the recipe from Always Order Dessert that I will link down below called for pounds, but the kind that I purchased comes in 12-ounce packs, so that is what I used. And I just threw that in there and kept cooking until it was nice and warm all the way through, and kind of browned on either side. To that, I added a seasoning mix of a teaspoon kosher salt, a teaspoon black pepper, a 1/4 teaspoon cayenne, a tablespoon of smoked paprika, a teaspoon thyme, a tablespoon oregano, and mix that all in. I did just use dry seasonings for this. I also added 2 cups of low sodium chicken broth and 1 bay leaf to the mix. And then I just mixed it really well. I did let this get to a light boil before simmering it and reducing the liquid by about 3/4. Now I'm adding 3 cups of pre-steamed cauliflower rice. I always just buy this frozen. It's just so much easier than making your own. And I just kept mixing that until it's fully coated and the liquid was reduced even more. And here it is, all plated up. This was super, super delicious. It's the perfect keto comfort food meal and stores really well and reheats really well, so it makes it also perfect for keto meal prep for the week. Just the right level of spice, and I'm sure this would probably freeze and reheat really well also. Lastly, this week we made these awesome spicy chorizo meatballs. This is a low carb and keto recipe from Melissa over at I Breathe I'm Hungry. I just love all of her recipes. Of course, I did adapt it and change it a little. So I did a 1-to-1 ratio on the meat, 1 pound of ground beef and 1 pound of spicy chorizo. Make sure you check your carb count on that. And I just used my meat mixer chopper upper to mix those together. Added 1/3 cup almond flour, 2 eggs. I did 2 tablespoons of dried cilantro, a teaspoon of salt, 1/4 a teaspoon pepper, 1/2 a teaspoon cumin, 1/2 a teaspoon cayenne, and then I'm adding 2 tablespoons of this fire Taco Bell sauce. It doesn't have any carbs listed per tablespoon, and I don't like the flavor of it as much as the hot Taco Bell sauce, so I wanted to use it up, and it was perfect in this recipe. After I have this all combined, I did get a separate cookie sheet with some foil just to kind of put the meatballs on while I'm rolling them out, because this does make at least 30 meatballs. I think I got more like 45 meatballs because I rolled them into smaller balls, but you're just gonna roll all of those out, and this is what they look like. And then I just took a large saute pan over medium-high heat with some avocado oil, and I'm gonna fry all of these up. Now, I did have to do these in 2 separate batches, and because I just knew I was feeling a little lazy and did not want to, fully fry these all the way through, make sure they were cooked to temperature in the middle, I just seared them really well on all sides, and then I preheated my oven to 350 degrees so that I could bake them the rest of the way through, so I could make sure that they were fully cooked. So I just added them to a baking dish, and you can see I got that nice dark sear on them. So they're mostly cooked all the way through, and then I just popped them in the oven for 20 minutes to finish it. And then to plate these, I used whole cabbage leaves, just white cabbage, and some meatballs and some sour cream, some Mexican cut shredded cheese, and some of the hot Taco Bell sauce that I like the flavor of better. And there you go, guys. That's this week's What's for Dinner on Keto. Easy keto meal ideas and keto recipes to help with your keto meal prep and what to eat on your keto diet. If you liked this video, do us a favor and give it a thumbs up and comment down below. The more engagement our video gets, the more people get to see it. And people that are out there trying to follow a keto diet and live a keto lifestyle may find it helpful. So until next time, bye, guys.
I'll follow you through the black and the blue. Whatever the mountain, we'll climb to the next. Honey, I'm with you through life and to